Welcome back to Building Character, where we figure out how to play as your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Join the Patreon for this character sheet and a whole bunch more, and like and subscribe so people know who you are next time you play. Maybe. Today we're building Danny Rand, the Immortal Iron Fist, sworn enemy of the Hand, protector of the Kunlun, breaker of chains, mother of dragons, commander of the armies in the north, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and the real Slim Shady. Oh, hang on. I think some of those weren't accurate.
To your will, your mind, your chi.
Let's start off with our goals for this build. First, we need to punch really good, but before you click away, this is not just 20 levels of Open Hand Monk. I won't lie, it's a lot of levels of Open Hand Monk, but we're gonna juice up the punches a little more than a pure monk would, so stick around and see how that works. Next, we need some serious athletic abilities, enough that you can keep up with Spider-Man when your only superpower is Big Punch. Finally, we'll make sure that our Big Punch can break through even Barbarian defenses. Well, most Barbarians. For stats, we need the point buy. Danny is perhaps the most monkey monk we've ever made, and if you want your monkey business to be the best, you've got to jack your dexterity and wisdom up as high as possible. Put your constitution at 12. The immortal part of Immortal Iron Fist is a bit misleading, but you're still pretty tough. Strength and intelligence at 10. You're in good shape. We just don't need to throw cars, and you're up on the Kunlun lore, but you kind of missed out on a lot of non-ninja fighting schooling. Speaking of, we'll dump charisma. Lots of rich kids go off to boarding school, but your boarding school was a bunch of old people who talked about making you punch good. Speaking of background, Danny is a human. If you're playing this build at lower levels, scoop up the unarmed fighting style from the fighting initiate feat. When we multi-class into monk, you'll be able to take the d6 or d8 damage die from your punches at level 1. It's pretty great. But if you're playing long term, the tough feat gives you +2 HP for every level you get, helping you make up for somewhat lacking constitution scores. Bump your dexterity and wisdom with your 2 free points, take history for your skill of choice, and build your own background for acrobatics and religion. I thought about making you a noble because your parents were loaded, but they were also very dead, and most of your childhood was spent in training. We'll kick things off as a monk. Yeah, it's pretty obvious, but I swear no bamboozle, we're going to multi-class and it's gonna be pretty cool. For now, grab athletics and insight from the monk list. You're pretty empathic, especially for a rich kid. You get martial arts, letting you use your dexterity for your unarmed attacks. They deal 1d4 bludgeoning damage plus your dexterity modifier, and you can make an unarmed attack as a bonus action after you attack with a monk weapon or unarmed attack with your action. I'm guessing you're playing Danny because you want to punch things, but he's pretty great at using weapons too. Don't shy away from that just because you're trying to be the most Iron Fist you can be. Of course, martial artists don't wear armor. Instead, you get to rock unarmored defense, making your AC 10 plus your dexterity and wisdom modifier when you're not wearing armor, which should help you avoid hits from the hand and the foot. If there's an Iron Fist TMNT crossover, I'd watch it. Second level monks get key points they can use to do cool hero stuff like Step of the Wind, letting you dash or disengage with a bonus action, and double your jump distance as well to help you hop around on the rooftops. If the Netflix Marvel shows have taught me anything, it's that the bad guys are always on rooftops, and you need to bring them to hallways to beat them. Patient Defense lets you dodge as a bonus action, giving enemies disadvantage to hit you, and giving you advantage on dexterity saving throws in case you have to fight a dragon. But Flurry of Blows is probably the most in-character option, letting you make 2 unarmed attacks instead of 1 with your action to get fast and flurious. All monks get to run a little bit faster with unarmored defense, which does stack with Step of the Wind to get some crazy high mobility at level 2. Third level monks get to choose a monastic tradition, and the Way of the Immortal Iron Fist ironically works best with an open hand, not a closed fist. Open hand monks get the open hand technique, letting you mess people up with your Flurry of Blows. You can force a strength saving throw of 10 plus your proficiency bonus and wisdom modifier, pushing them 15 feet back if they fail. You can force a dexterity saving throw on them to trip them and knock them prone, or no save at all and they just can't take reactions for a round. It can be pretty hard to focus when you've been punched with the force of a bulldozer. Really quick, let's talk about why I'm not using Ascendant Dragon Monk, because I weirdly feel like people want me to use that for Danny. I say weirdly because it literally does nothing that Danny does. His punches aren't elemental, he doesn't make an AoE with his punches, he can't fly, and he doesn't give off any auras. He punched a dragon once though. Anyway, third level monks can also deflect missiles, letting you reduce the damage of incoming ranged attacks by 1d10 plus your monk level and dexterity modifier as a reaction, and even yeet the ammo back with a key point for some insanely high reflexes. Fourth level monks get slow fall, letting you reduce falling damage by 5 times your monk level as a reaction, so you can cannonball off rooftops without worry. You also get an ability score improvement. We'll start with dexterity for now, that's your damage, and we need to be Iron Fist. Currently you're like Wood Fist, not bad, but +4 is at least Stone Fist. We're gonna get there. Fifth level monks get an extra attack, letting letting you make 2 attacks instead of 1 with your action, and up to 4 attacks with a flurry of blows. All of those hits are hitting harder thanks to a d6 for your monk die. Heck, you can even hit some pressure points with a stunning strike, letting you force a constitution saving throw on creatures you hit with an attack, stunning them until the end of your next turn if they fail. That will give you and your fellow defenders advantage on all attacks against them, making crits twice as likely for just 1 key point. Isn't that nice? 6th level monks get key empowered strikes, meaning your unarmed attacks are magical in terms of overcoming resistances, so now you can punch ghosts without any hesitation. You also get wholeness of body, letting you recover 3 times your monk level and hit points as an action once per short rest to let the ki flow through you and seal up your wounds. Now it's time to multi-class. But where to? Cleric, druid, rogue, fighter? No, we're gonna take one of the worst classes, pair it with another one of the worst classes if you're wrong, and make something that's actually pretty dang good. First level rangers get another skill. Survival will help you track down your sworn enemies. You also get canny, giving you expertise with one of your skills. Acrobatics would be the most fitting in my opinion, doubling your proficiency bonus with those checks to do some sweet backflips, or more practically, break out of grapples. You also get favored foe, letting you pick a creature to deal an extra d4 of damage to once per turn for a minute, depending on your concentration. It's like Hunter's Mark, but worse. So it's a good thing that 2nd level rangers can cast spells, like Hunter's Mark, which is like favored foe, but better. It lets you deal an extra d6 of damage to a creature every time you hit it for an hour, which pairs super well with a flurry of blows, basically making you deal 8d6 damage with a flurry of blows. You also get advantage on checks to track the creature, but we're mostly here for bigger punches. You do learn 2 ranger spells though, so jump triples your jump distance. Pair that with Step of the Wind, that's a sextupled jump distance, 60 feet horizontally, 18 feet vertically. You could be an Olympic athlete if the whole billionaire air thing doesn't work out. For your fighting style, pick something you like. Just put fighting style on the graphic. 2-weapon fighting, dueling, really anything. Remember, just because you're the Iron Fist doesn't mean that you're not good with weapons. But if you're committed to the punch aesthetic, druidic fighting would give you 2 druid cantrips like guidance and resistance to give a creature a d4 for ability checks or saving throws respectively, just helping you be a little bit better or helping your buddies out instead. Again, you can kind of pick what you want. If you're just wanting to punch, go for druidic fighting. We'll grab one more level of ranger to be the true protector of the Kunlun as a Horizon Walker. Horizon Walkers are all about defending the material plane from extra-dimensional threats, and they do so with the Planar Warrior ability, letting you use a bonus action to pick a creature you want to deal an extra d8 of damage to. That might seem pretty bad since it takes away your bonus action, but it also converts the damage of the attack to force, so it will help you blast barbarians as well, just not the bear totem ones. But hey, resisting damage is like their whole thing, don't take that away from them. Besides, you're not gonna have to fight Luke. You're like best buddies, heroes for hire, for life. Bouncing back over to Monk will let you bounce out of the way of damage thanks to evasion, letting you take half damage on failed dex saves and no damage on successful ones, which should help you with Dragon Breath even more. Stillness of Mind lets you remove an effect of Charming or Frightening as an action, which is also good for dragons. Dang, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but you might be able to 1v1 a dragon. 8th level monks get another ability score improvement, letting you cap off your dexterity modifier to be more accurate and painful to the hand with your hands. 9th level monks get unarmored movement improvement, letting you blast up a wall or over water without falling in as long as you're still keeping it light. You need to find a solid perch when you're done though, don't worry about it too much though. Slowfall is cutting out 45 falling damage automatically, so no big deal if you don't make it. 10th level monks get Purity of Body, making you immune to poison and disease, but that's you the character, not you the player, so wash your hands. We want 2020 to be a bad year, not a bad decade. Hey, this script was written for last year, and this oh my god, we're still here. Oh god. 11th level open hand monks get Tranquility, putting you under the effects of the Sanctuary spell, meaning creatures trying to attack you have to make a wisdom saving throw or switch their target. This benefit goes away when you make an attack or cast a spell, but it's not like people are going to be attacking a billionaire when you're walking down the street. This is just the rich privilege ability. Your monk die also bumps up to a d8, so with Hunter's Mark, it's effectively a d14 as long as you focus on one creature at a time. Also, I know that a d8 plus a d6 is not a d14. I'm just saying a plus 6 equals 14. Calm down. 12th level monks get another ability score improvement. Bumping your wisdom will help your empathy and make your saving throws harder to resist as you hone in on all the pressure points with your stunning strike. 13th level monks get Tongue of the Sun and Moon, letting you communicate with all creatures and they can understand you as well, as long as they speak at least one language. Danny speaks Chinese and English, which are some of the hardest languages to learn. He really is a cunning linguist. Picking up new languages shouldn't be too hard. 14th level monks get arguably the best monk ability, Diamond Soul, giving you proficiency with all saving throws, which should help the the Immortal Iron Fist die less often. 15th level monks get Timeless Body, meaning you no longer feel the effects of age. This immortal thing is starting to get more and more literal as we're going on. 16th level monks get our last ability score improvement, letting you cap off your wisdom modifier for the hardest to resist open hand techniques and stunning strikes, not to mention 20 AC to be incredibly hard to hit. Our capstone is the 17th level of open hand monk for Quivering Palm. That lets you spend 3 key points when you hit a creature with an unarmed attack to set up some bad vibes. You can activate these anytime you want with an action in the next 17 days, forcing a constitution saving throw on the creature. Failing that, they hit 0 HP. Even if they pass, they take 10d10 necrotic damage. You could use this to win virtually any fight with one punch. See, the One Punch Man video. Even if they seem good at constitution saving throws, your unarmed attacks now deal 1d10 damage, so with Hunter's Mark, that's basically a d16. But let's talk about how good that is in the pros section. Now that we've hit level 20, let's figure out how viable this build is. First, with Flurry of Blows, you can have 4 attacks per round to deal 4d10 plus 4d6 plus 20 damage with only 1 key point. You can also kill things with 3 key points. Even if they pass the save, you're dealing some crazy necrotic damage, and you can repeat this up to 5 times per day. Even a Tarask only has 3 legendary resistances. It also has plus 10 to its con saves, but on a 9 or lower, it dies. That's wild. Finally, monks have some great mobility, and you're almost a full monk. That means you can blast around with incredible speed and get where you need to go. For weaknesses, the reason we went 3 levels into Ranger is to stop you from getting empty body, because Danny can't turn invisible. But that turns you invisible, lets you cast astral projection and resist all but force damage, which is a little better than wasting your bonus action to hit one specific class a little bit harder, and not even all the subclasses of that specific class. You're also kind of a jerk. Talking to people is good and you're bad at it. Finally, you might have mobility, but your range is really bad, so if you can't close the gap, you could be in for some trouble. But remember how you can kill literally anything by punching it? That's pretty neat. Punch things, punch them really good, and rip the heart out of a dragon. Just watch out for flying foes with ranged attacks, or you might end up a little less immortal than you thought you were. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe for more. We make 2 videos every week. Join the Patreon for this character sheet and a whole bunch more, and sub to Tulok and Mango for more Tulok fun.